going to reset this corn experiment. Well, I'm thinking about dropping all these today, and then I reach in here and I feel this ear, and it's pretty firm. There's quite a cob forming in there. And since I give it a shot of some Rejuvenate, some Sea Shield, and some silica, and something else, and I forget what else. Maybe I'll throw it up here. But the silk is exploded out like I'm used to seeing on really healthy corn plants. I just want you to look at the structure of that silk, and you'll see that it's all like curly and super robust. You only see that on really healthy corn plants. I've never seen that on like a ammoniacal nitrogen or high chem-fert input cornfield. I've never seen that. But I have seen that in organic and regenerative systems, and you'll see that that explodes even way much more. I'll see if I can dig up some of my old videos of corn. Maybe I can show you one of the silks, like on the Black Dakota popcorn. Just super robust, very notably different phenotypically from a normal corn plant's expression in normal standard agronomy. And that product is specifically designed to support good root growth, good plant growth, good flower set, and not just good flower set, but good flower and fruit filling, and to have less abortion or aborted flowers on a given plant. It's more targeted for flowering fruiting crops like tomatoes and apples and cherries and that sort of stuff. Typically it wouldn't be used with corn, and my intent was certainly not to serve the corn with it, although I knew some of it would residually hit it. But so here we go, take a look at what happens. This corn had that accelerate. I'll have to take a look in the chart, but it was fairly early on in the stage of growth. And so, for example, you can see, I'll step back here, you can see the row right next to the carrots is tremendously darker. It's taller. Its tassels are more filled out. Its leaves are bigger. Its leaves are darker. And it doesn't show deficiencies like some of this other corn does. And then if we look even closer here, for example, we'll take a look at this corn plant. This corn plant has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ears of corn on it. Yeah, 6 ears. This is the same variety. This is incredible sweet corn F1 hybrid. Yeah, this plant needs nutritional work, but I'm on it. I'm on it. But check this out. Look at this thing. Off the hook. 2 black crim. Look at the stem size, leaf size, vigor, hairs on stems, node spacing. Flowers popping. I'm gonna be rolling in black crims in a month or 2. 4 types of holy basil. This is stevia. Can't wait to be growing my own sweetener for my coffee. Rosemary started from seed. Those are really nice. Reminds me of something. Beets that I just beat up with the phone. I'm gonna leave that in there for you. Pretty happy with those results so far. Those are gonna be nice. Let's see, there's a big lemon verbena bush here, and then this is sweet Thai basil all around it. A ton of it. Took some down to Dan Kittredge. He really appreciated that. Some jalapenos here. I gotta get some more light into again. Some holy basil. The Texas tarragon is starting to come back. Bickety bam. Ginger's just taking damage from too much light, so we're gonna have to find that a shadier spot once we get things rearranged here again. Got some new soil mixes, transplants to do, and such. Figs. I really wanted to show you these figs. Holy cow! Check this out. Figs popping on. New growth coming on. Figs popping on. New growth coming on. figs popping on, new growth coming on, more figs popping on, more figs popping on, new growth coming on, and more, and more, and more, and more, and more, and more, and more. Fork, 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 fork. Ad infinitum. And we got another reddening fig coming on. And I know just where that's going. So along the lines of the Bionutrient Food Association, some awesome new things coming with that. TFSN and the Bionutrient Food Association are going to be working together. Brand new giant farm project coming. Solar power, water power, ram pumps, agriculture, you name it. It's going to be sick. And we're going to build it out to the max. So that's exciting. And after my meeting with Dan Kittredge before I came home, he was kind enough to share some nice potatoes from the farm over there with me. And these are going to be awesome. And yeah, you can bet I'll propagate a few of these as well too. But I just wanted to share them with you. Nice organic potatoes. We got some blues and some reds and some whites and some, yeah, you know, TFSN style. Yeah, where do you think I got that style from? Yeah. So there you go. In the other tank, we're going to pull the corn experiment. Though I do want to point out, we have some very robust silk on this one ear. And I was feeling this today, and it actually is firming up quite nice. But we're going to turn this back into mulch for the next crop of sweet corn, using some tactics that we usually would use in outdoor soil practices. I'm going to try them out here in the grow lab and see if we can gain any degree of success. So, step one. I did some pruning on the tops of these. I realized there's a lot of green leaf matter still here, photosynthesizing in the bottom. So I'm going to try just pruning the one bin that did better. I think you can guess which bin that is. Yeah, that's the one that had the inoculants. The one that had my recycled soil mix in it as well. And is it interesting just to look at the performance difference? This is just a straight KISS Organics blend with ProMix. No other amendments to it except some rock dust and maybe some kelp meal. And some inoculants, Biocoat Gold, Spectrum, DS. And then this is same inoculant, same soil, nutrient addition, except this is soil that I've run for several years. Thus it is marked with the R. And so it's a remix soil, which means it probably had a little more opportunity to accumulate enzymes, trace mineral nutrition, carbon sequestration, and such. And boy, do we ever see that reflected in the growth. These never even achieved producing an embryo, as in like a corn cob beginning at all. And these over here actually are producing some embryos, even though this experiment is going way awry due to constraints and my failure to manage the environment. And we're going to redo this with the Dwarf Jade blue corn. Look at how robust this silk is. Have you ever seen a corn silk like this before? I'll bet you haven't. You know, we'll see if we get any kernels on this. It'll be interesting just to see, to continue the experiment without occupying an entire floor space of tent space to do it. And then the rest of this organic material, we're going to chop the rest of this back. And so this is the tops out of that first piece. I'm going to come back in here with the clippers and chop this down like you would chop it down in the field with a roller chopper. And I'm debating whether I put this down under the soil or I put it on top as a mulch. I think what I'm going to do is a couple different versions of the experiment. But I got to figure out what soil I'm going to do that with. So we'll stay tuned. But I just thought I would introduce and finish up phase one of this sort of messing around, getting centered on running some controlled corn experiments in the lab. Okay, so quickly, we're chopped down to basically field stubble on this one. Probably replant this with 4 dwarf blue jade sweet corn. Will reduce our plant population, which will increase our plant spacing. We're still going to try and achieve 8 ears per plant yield on that. I think that probably can be done in this setup. Given what I know about that variety, having grown it a little bit in the past, and given that we've had a chance to use a round of growing sweet corn in here to sequester carbon and build the soil, overall energy intensity, for lack of a better way to put it, up. I think this is going to perform well, but let's find out. Let's prove me right or wrong. I probably should run another experiment side by side with that. I may, as a way of doing that, plant another 4 in this planter and let them come up as a few of these try to finish out a little more before we clip that off and do the side by side again with these, but in that way. So those are all thoughts on the table, but just wanted to share a little bit, and I'll show you real quick all the chopped material that we've got so far from that we're going to try and implement in some soil. So there it is. Quite a bit of corn stubble here. About a half a crate full, chopped pretty fine. But, basically this is kind of like silage. So what I'm going to do is take the concept of using Rejuvenate, Sea Shield, Biocoat Gold, and Spectrum, and mix this with some soil and treat the whole thing heavily with those and see if we can't use those biostimulants and humates and all that sort of stuff to accelerate the biology and break this lignin down very quickly and make it available as nutrient again quickly. I'm going to shoot for like a 30-day window on that, but I've got to figure out how I'm going to set this experiment up exactly. Always select the best seed you can. The largest, heaviest, biggest seeds are likely to have the most genetic potential in them right from the start. Not just genetic potential, but also trace minerals, nutrients, enzymes, and all the pieces that a seed needs to go from a seed to a living, growing plant that can start collecting energy on its own from the photosynthetic process. Remember, there's a phase there where there is no photosynthesis, and all energy for the plant must come from the seed and the biology around it in the soil. It's a big part of why the biology in the soil is essential. It's helping facilitate energy and mineral nutrition flow to that seed right from the get-go. It's important. Oh yeah. Regarding seed quality, let's talk for a sec. Now we'll take a little closer look at what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is the variety we're working with. Blue Jade Dwarf Sweet Corn from the Hudson Valley Seed Company. Okay. Spaced 36 inches apart, blocks of at least 4 rows, and thin, requires fertile soil. Harvest when swollen and milky. So we're a sweet corn at the milky stage, basically, so it's the milk type sweet corn, not a super sweet variety. Anyway, notice the seed difference here. I'm picking these 8 seeds to use in our experiment. Out of the handful that I took out of here, and what I really should do, and actually what I'm going to do now, is go back through and find the biggest, best seeds out of these. We're going to pick 8 seeds out of that for this experiment, the 8 best seeds, and go from there. Do you have any idea what the difference is between, say, these 2 seeds here? I think this kind of stuff, most of this kind of stuff, when you stop and think about it conceptually, if you just stop and think your way through it, you'd find it's pretty obvious. I mean, the seed that's larger is probably going to have a little more capacity to carry through that germination process and have a better chance at success, isn't it? Well, it scientifically proves valid, and if you pair it with good nutrients and good biology in and on that seed right from the start, then things like mycorrhizal fungi and endophytic fungi and protozoa and bacteria and all sorts of cool biology can start up a community right on that seed, right from the get-go, and play exchange sites on that seed to help that seed succeed, and that seed will come back by harvesting that photosynthetic energy and feed that community back. All things in nature are symbiotic relationships. We humans are the only ones that come in here and screw things up. So now let's take a look at who made the starting lineup. Yeah. Big difference. Alright, so final clip back here. 1, 2, 3, 4 corner. Same on this crate. They're planted. We'll log it. The experiment is reset with some new corn seed in the under canopy, and we've had a chance to try and build the soil in the process. I'm trying to demonstrate multiple layers of concepts and principles here so that you can understand the concepts and principles and employ them in practice on your farms, fields, gardens, grow tents, whatever you're applying to. On that note, I would say when you're in the garden getting crazy with the clippers doing some trimming, don't cut your own damn cord. That's it. Thanks for watching the Pharmacy Seeds Network. Cheers.